Okay, writers, today we're going to talk about elaboration. Elaboration is when you add details to important parts of the story you chose that you think is worthwhile and that you think could be published. Remember, we pick one story. Nod your head if you remember. You have like 5 or 6 drafts and you pick one story that you want to publish. Okay, some of you may not like the story very much, and you can always write again. You can always write more drafts and go back if you don't like the story you picked. Okay, so how do you elaborate? Here are some steps that I've come up with for you. So I'm going to go over these steps, and then I'll show you how to do this using my story. Nod your head if you remember when I wrote this sloppy copy draft of when that big earthquake happened, and my sister and I, we were sitting watching The Simpsons, and it was really scary. You remember that? Okay, so I'm going to follow these steps using that story that I'm going to publish. Okay, so first, you reread your story and you find moments that really matter. So maybe a part where a main character is introduced, or a supporting character, so character moments. Moments when you're describing the setting, or moments when the climax happens, the most intense part of the story, or the lead, the beginning of your story is really important to elaborate on, and the ending. So those are different moments that you might want to elaborate more and add more detail. So it's pretty hard. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to elaborate because what you have to do is you have to picture in your mind really, and sometimes you can't remember. So you picture the moment in your mind, and then you just quickly write down, like, what do I remember seeing? What do I remember hearing? What do I remember smelling, feeling, tasting even? So like using your senses. You want to write it as fast as you can, just like when you draft. It's okay if it sounds a little weird or not very good. If you can't see very much, like it's just really hard for you to remember what it looked like and felt like, then make it up. You have my permission to make parts up. Reread what you wrote and ask yourself, does this make a movie in my mind? You can also ask your partner to read what you wrote when you elaborated and ask them, did this make a movie in your mind? And then, if you still need help, you can always go to mentor text. So I put up here some of the stories that we've read as a class, and you can read these to see, how do they make me see the story? And some of these obviously are picture books, and so they have pictures to help, which that can help you too, drawing pictures. And then I also have Everything Will Be Okay, which has a lot of details that help the reader see. So you can look at these to get help for your story and elaborating. Okay, so let me show you how to do this. So I'm just gonna reread my story and just use a pen and find parts that I might want to elaborate on more. We were sitting in front of the TV watching The Simpsons. Maybe I could add some elaboration here. Because it's my lead, I might also change my lead later, because I don't know if I like this very much. But I could maybe add sound, so I'm just gonna put a S there. My sister was sucking her thumb and twirling her yucky hair. Okay, I don't know, I probably need to elaborate more on my sister because she's a character in this story. So I'm just gonna put E for elaborate. Who knows where my parents were? All of a sudden, I felt shaking and heard a rumbling. Ooh, I already elaborated a little bit here. I didn't even realize I was doing that. My parents raced down the stairs with my baby brother. We ran out of the back, and what I saw frightened me. The field was shivering. It was waving like a wave. Okay, that sounds really silly. I need to do a better job of describing the setting here. So I'm just gonna put E for elaborate. I need to change that part, I think. We threw the sliding glass door open and ran across the wavy field. Okay, I need to rewrite this part and add some more details and try it out again. We ran and ran, and the earthquake continued. It seemed like the earth had been shaking for a very long time. We reached the middle of the field where a small playground with tunnels was located, and suddenly the earthquake stopped. We were so relieved and gave each other big hugs. I'll never forget how terrifying that day was. Okay, so let me see. So I'm going to elaborate on my sister, Shelly. I'm going to underline that. She's a character. I feel like I did a pretty good job elaborating on this setting, but maybe I could do better on these parts. And the ending, I don't know. I can't really picture my parents very well, and like the hugs, and so maybe I should elaborate on the ending a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to start trying to elaborate on different parts. So I'm going to elaborate more on my sister. So I'm going to turn the page in my journal, and I'm going to go ahead and just elaborate right here. So, sister. Shelly is, I don't remember how old she was, but I'm just going to pretend that I remember. Shelly is 5 years old, and that explains maybe why her hair is yucky, and hates taking baths. Okay, let me see. See, hear, smell, taste, feel. So, what else do I see? I'm trying to picture my sister when she was 5 years old. She has chubby cheeks and smudges of dirt on them. I don't know. Okay, now what does this have to do with the earthquake though? Like, do I really need all this detail about my sister? I don't know, but at least I tried out, adding detail about Shelly. And maybe I should do more with her character. Like maybe we hold hands across the field. And maybe this story is really about my sister and how annoying she is, but how much she means to me and what it was like when we experienced this terrifying moment together. And maybe she's the one I hugged first. So that's why I'm elaborating on her. So you really want to pick the parts that are important. Like if I'm going to start elaborating on the living room and the Simpsons, my story is about an earthquake. I don't know if I really need to elaborate on the Simpsons and an earthquake. So pick the important parts of your story to elaborate. Okay, so I can also go and read a mentor text if I get stuck. So this is what I'd like you to do today. I'd like you to remember that you're the boss of your writing. So you get to choose what you want to work on today. Maybe you want to try out elaborating parts of your story. Or maybe you hate your story and you want to rewrite and make a new story. I don't know. You're going to decide. So I made a chart up there. You are the boss. You can write your story in a whole new way. Maybe you want to rewrite it so that it has more of a plot. Maybe you want to try and elaborate like what I just did, or start a different story, or you can read mentor text to get help. Turn to your partner right now and tell them what are your plans today for writing time. Go ahead.